The NBA All-Star Game went from being legendary to a lazy shootout.
And Dame shooting from half court as well.
Even the players have stopped caring.
I don't think nobody should expect us to compete at a high level in an All-Star game.
It used to be competitive. Fans want to see the best pickup game in the world.
I really kind of lost interest in All-Star just watching whatever they're doing out there.
Absolutely. All the formats are terrible in my opinion.
Scale of 1 to 10, your thoughts of the format?
A 0. Sucks.
We should just go back to East-West.
Is Luka gonna come out there in Luka fashion chilling, or is Luka gonna hoop? That's what I want to know. Because this is international, Luka. You have your own organization. You have.
I'll be hooping.
Do you think with this World versus USA format, that level of intensity can be duplicated in any way?
No.
But this year, despite losing both games, Victor Wembanyama saved the All-Star Game.
I ain't gonna lie, Wemby set the tone.
But this was more competitive than any All-Star game I've been to recently. What'd you think?
Of course, going against the world and Wemby. Like I said, Wemby, he came out playing hard.
You said that Wemby pretty much set the stage.
Yeah, he set the tone. It was definitely competitive. But yeah, he set the tone, man. It woke me up for sure.
You got credit right off the bat from Ant saying you set the tone. Social media is blowing up saying Wemby did more to save the All-Star game in 10 minutes than they've tried to do in 10 years. Why was it important for you to set the tone with the competitiveness?
But first, a little bit of history. In 1951, the first All-Star Game was played at the Boston Garden. Fans got to see the best players in the world compete against each other, making it the most watched game of the season. The league saw this as a great opportunity for marketing, so in 1976, they decided to add a dunk contest, and in 1986, the three-point contest. These events instantly made the All-Star Weekend iconic.
Well, the crowd lets you know what they think of it. Now we will wait for the judges. Michael Jordan score 50.
Look how he did the between the legs. He came backward. He's backwards instead of forward.
All right, here is Vince Carter with his first stop.
Let's go home. Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my goodness. This young man has been so impressive. Now, the timing that ball should bounce just right. He meets it at the height.
This may be 50, Kenny. 50! Spudwell jumped over him at the spud, gave him the pass, and the crowd just went crazy.
In 1993, the All-Star Game attracted 23 million viewers. The game went to overtime, where Michael Jordan lost to the MVPs Karl Malone and John Stockton. 10 years later, in 2003, Michael Jordan's final All-Star Game went into overtime. And this happened.
In overtime, and Michael has the ball, again guarded by Shawn Marion. The fadeaway, yes! With 4 and 8/10 seconds remaining, the West takes a timeout. Michael Jordan, not able to hit the game winner at the end of regulation, has just given the East a 2-point lead.
It was the perfect way to end his final All-Star Game. But then,
by 2. Wallace applying the pressure on the inbound. It's broken up by Kidd, played by Brown, who fires and is fouled. With 1 second remaining, he was fouled in 3-point territory. He'll have 3 shot attempts.
with Kobe's clutch free throws, the game went into double overtime.
And for the first time in NBA All-Star history, we go to double overtime.
The West won, denying 40-year-old Jordan his storybook ending. You don't go to double overtime in an All-Star game unless both teams are competing to win. Now, 20 years after that game, we see a record low viewership of only 4 million in 2023.
I agree, and I think the All-Star game in general needs a little revamping because I always loved competing in them. I didn't lose many of them. It used to be competitive. Fans want to see the best pickup game in the world. What happens when you get this collection of best basketball players on the planet and they play and they go head up against each other?
Man.
The year after that, the Eastern Conference scored 211 points, and the combined score was almost 400.
And to the Eastern Conference All-Stars, you scored the most points. Well, congratulations.
The All-Star Weekend contests used to be legendary, but now they're just painful to watch.
I mean, the skills competition, it doesn't feel like it needs to exist anymore.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Shoot it regular. First of all, man, take it seriously, man. Don't be shooting it left-handed, man. There's other people on your team. It ain't about you. Look, there's arrows pointing you in the direction. Come on, man.
The dunk contest even 10 years ago was amazing.
Jackson. Okay.
That's a great dunk. That's a great dunk.
That's still pretty impressive. This is real.
Excited the crowd.
Oh my
that
God.
was my pick.
Man.
This was my pick, kid.
Hey, the timing. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
I think we have a
good night, sweetie.
I think you just went back to back.
Yeah. That is it.
Well deserved.
Apart from Mac McClung, now we have rookies who can't even finish a dunk properly.
My whole thing is, when are we gonna get like Ant Edwards, Ja, Zion? Like, when are we gonna get these guys? Listen, Carter Bryant, these guys that are in it now, great dunkers, great young players, and will be good players, but the dunk contest needs names.
Slam dunk contest.
There you go.
We need to bring it back. Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine had an amazing slam dunk contest. Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Steve Franz had a great dunk contest.
Indeed.
What's up with all you young guys, man? It's just dunking. Y'all do it every day.
If it ain't no stars dunking, I ain't really want to watch it no more. Man, I can't believe Zion did all that shit and got to the league and then touched. Man, that's crazy. John Morant ain't gonna get into it. It's over? Nah. These niggas are still 20-something. How's it over? Man, y'all tripping.
Why hasn't LeBron ever competed in a dunk contest?
It's a crying shame that LeBron James hasn't stooped to compete in a single dunk contest.
When Bron didn't get in it, that's when we lost Zion, Ja, all them niggas supposed to get in it. When Bron didn't get in the shit, he fucked the whole tradition up. Don't nobody want to hear this? Yeah, I'm one of them gatekeepers, I can say this. Yeah.
You've never entered the dunk contest. Now, can you explain to them why you decided to not enter the dunk contest?
It's just never been something to my flavor, man. I did it in high school a couple times. I had some fun with it, but
so you're an in-game dunker. You're not.
Yeah, I'm an in-game dunker.
You're not a blow a candle out.
Yeah.
Injury risk is supposedly why players take it easy, but there has only been one recorded injury ever reported in an All-Star game. It was in 2012 when Dwayne Wade injured Kobe's nose.
We got into a little tussle in the All-Star game a little bit, and I ended up hitting him the wrong way and he broke his nose.
That was the first time I've ever seen that.
But I'm gonna tell you the thing. We got the Lakers about like 3 games after the break.
Yes. He got the mask on.
He got the mask on. But you know what? I called him, didn't maliciously do it. I called him and I said, yo, Kobe. He was like, bro, I love it. I'm like, you what? He's like, I love it. I see you in a couple days. I'm like, oh, this. Oh, snap.
Today, with modern sports science, advanced training, and elite recovery methods, players should be less injury prone. Yet they're more worried than ever about getting hurt. The reason for that lies in how the league evolved. With the growing popularity of the sport, in 2002, the NBA signed a deal worth $4.6 billion for 6 years, then extended it to an 8-year, $7.4 billion deal. But in October of 2014, the NBA announced a 9-year, $24 billion extension. We saw a massive surge in salaries, and role players began getting paid like superstars. The average salary of an NBA player in the 90s was $1.9 million, but today that number sits at almost $10 million. That's just the average. If we look at top player salaries in 1991, the highest paid player was Patrick Ewing, who made about $5 million. But now we see players making upwards of almost $80 million a year. With generational wealth on the line, players aren't going to risk their bag for an exhibition game. Salaries will only keep climbing now that the NBA signed an 11-year, $77 billion deal in 2025. An all-star selection is still a massive honor, but that's where it ends. Players want the title, but they don't care to play in the game.
Jokic doesn't want to play in the All-Star game. He said it afterwards.
Yeah, he said it. He literally said it.
They asked Jimmy about not making the All-Star. He's like, it's fine. Like, what is important is the recognition of becoming an All-Star.
Also, the selection gives players leverage to demand bigger contracts. All this forced the NBA to make format changes. In 2018, they moved to a playground draft with LeBron and Steph choosing their players in secret. A cool idea, but the game didn't attract much of an audience, so they decided to do the draft publicly. Unfortunately, that also failed to increase the game's viewership. 2020 brought some hope because the Elam ending gave us a tight, dramatic game, but eventually that fizzled out just like everything else. In 2023, they hit a record low in viewership. They tried going back to East versus West, but that didn't work either. Last year, they experimented with a 4-team tournament. Games played to a target score of 40 points in a mini round-robin format, reducing total game time, hoping for it to be exciting. But that created an entirely different problem. In a 3-hour-long broadcast, there was only 42 minutes of basketball played, which is only 23% of the show. But if we look closely at actual game time, it would add to about 33 minutes, which is only 18% of the entire broadcast. In a 3-hour NBA All-Star game, you only get to see 33 minutes of basketball. 2025 produced arguably the worst All-Star game ever. From this point on, there was only one more format left to try.
US and the rest of the world could be attractive for you?
I think that'll be better when it comes to all, but it's not I don't know.
So what are your thoughts on a Team World versus Team USA All-Star game in the future?
I would love that. I would love that.
But many players didn't like the new format.
I like the East and West format, but I mean, they're trying something. It's like the U.S. versus the world. The world is gigantic over the U.S. So I'm just trying to figure out how that makes sense.
With this world versus USA format, that level of intensity can be duplicated in any way.
No.
Careful when we start talking about this pitting American basketball players versus the rest of the world. It's a delicate topic.
The world team looked like clear favorites going in, but 4 of their 5 starters weren't healthy. Both Luka and Jokic were managing injuries, so their minutes were heavily restricted. Losing 4 starters is one thing, but these were arguably the 4 best players in the entire league. The USA teams have every advantage, or so it seemed, until you remember who their 5th starter was.
Victor, you've expressed some interest in bringing some competitive fire back to the All-Star game. How do you think you would actually go about having others on the world team adopt that spirit?
I think exclamation point plays, sharing the ball with energy, and if you share that energy, people feel like they have a responsibility to share it back to you. So I'm confident in the way it's going to go.
Victor, I think, has said he plans to play hard on the offense.
We'll see. He said that last year too, and they said it was the worst All-Star game that people watched, so we're going to see.
With 4 starters down in an exhibition game, players have every excuse in the world to take it easy. But we saw what Wemby was planning from the very first possession.
75th NBA All-Star game is underway, and Team World has it first. So 12-minute game, that's a great way to start. Victor Wembanyama. And just right here during the February break and All-Star weekend, Wemby is 2 for 2.
And Wemby wanted that pass
for J.B. Bickerstaff, their head coach of Detroit. Wembanyama, volleyball spike.
Wemby was treating this like a playoff game. His energy pulled everyone else up with him.
After helping guide them to the finals last year, the takeaway. Barnes got the hand in the cookie jar. It's a 5-on-4, and Johnson goes right to the rack.
Sharing the ball with energy, and if you share that energy, people feel like they have a responsibility to share it back to you.
Give it to him, Red. Yeah. I told you.
There's that full 8-foot wingspan in full effect. And down. The defense, the offense with a big man starring at Inglewood.
It was the most intense start to an All-Star game in years. So intense that it went to overtime.
Instead, it's a pick and pop. And it's Wemby.
Shooting over him. Don't spread out.
For the win. He's got it! Scotty Barnes!
This is how you react when you lose a playoff game. This is what losing Game 7 on the last possession looks like. Nobody would react like this for an all-star game.
If like after that last three against the young USA team in overtime, like you stomped off in the other direction, that just looked like you were really losing yourself in that.
Yeah, it was our second time allowing a three when we shouldn't have of the game. It's really one quarter, so I would have expected us to be smarter right here. So that was disappointing, but it's a game we love, you know. It's a game I personally cherish. So being competitive is the least I can do.
The next game was just as competitive. Veterans against the young guns, and it all came down to this.
9 seconds left. Stripes looking for the win. James inside, out. Fox, punt. Fox for the win.
In the third game, Wemby came out with the same intensity, but Kawhi put on a masterclass.
Right. Ooh. And then he can do that for three. That's what makes him unfair. Leonard, now he's really feeling it. Hits again. Kawhi Leonard.
That was right in the grill of his teammate.
Oh, Wemby clears the space.
But you love how the other great
The cookies and milk. Well, they're going to clear out for this guy anyway. Wemby over Durant. Think about that. 5-2. Leonard, cross, step back three. He's got it. Straight cash.
This might have been the best All-Star game in years.
Now for these All-Stars, both U.S. and world, thank you guys for competing hard on the court tonight.
You said that Wemby pretty much set the stage.
Yeah, he set the tone. It was definitely competitive. But yeah, he set the tone, man, and it woke me up for sure.
You got credit right off the bat from Ant saying you set the tone. Social media is blowing up saying Wemby did more to save the All-Star game in 10 minutes than they've tried to do in 10 years. Why was it important for you to set the tone with the competitiveness?
To make it more fun. I think it was pretty good, you know. We got a guy like Kawhi going for 30. No, it was pretty good display of basketball, better than last year, in my opinion. It was fun.
Victor, would you want to see this format continue? And also, how do you block out of your mind, you know, the fear of injury going all out like that?
I feel like you can't really block it out. I feel like you could, but it could be a waste of energy. I think you should need to be okay with your ability. I mean, I chose to step on the court. It means 100%, you know. And the format, yeah, I liked it. I wouldn't be against this format in the future, and I wouldn't be against the regular East versus West either.
Everyone wondered about the format. How do you think it played out, especially with you going for 31 in that game?
I thought it was good, but I still think going back to, you know, East-West will be great. Whatever you guys want. Whatever, you know, that grabs the attention of the consumer, I'm for it.
Yeah, I think I like this format. I think it makes us compete because it's only 12 minutes and the 3 different teams, you separate the guys. And, I think it was really good.
The 2026 All-Star Game delivered the largest audience since 2011, averaging 8.8 million viewers. Sure, the final game was a blowout, and Wemby couldn't win a single game. But if even one of those 4 starters were healthy, the result would have been completely different.
All it takes is one maniac, just one crazy person to up the tempo, and that person was Victor Wembanyama. You want to know why? That man basically threatened to embarrass everybody tonight by blocking their shots, by doing all this other stuff, and it shamed Anthony Edwards and some of those other guys into playing a lot harder.
But the All-Star Weekend still needs some fixing. Maybe bring back the Legends game, but that might create even bigger injury concerns. Or a horse competition between superstars? Probably a one-on-one tournament?
The one-on-one competition. But here's the thing. Everything is memed, everything is gift, everything just lives on, it seems. YouTube, whatever, forever. And so I think rather than like being embarrassed because you tried to lock down LeBron one-on-one, like you're like, if I don't try, I can't fail.
Yeah. How would you fix the All-Star Weekend? If you made it this far, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one.